Alright guys, hey, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of our New York Islanders franchise mode here in NHL 19. So, yep, we're gonna about to get a little crazy here with this Islanders team. So, looking at our record, we're up at February 1st. The trade deadline is a couple of weeks away. And for some unknown reason, we just are not a good team this year. We're not playing well. So I decided, you know what? Let's make a couple of changes. Let's shake it up a little bit. If we're not going to be a good team, might as well go for, some nice high picks. Bring in some more good prospects for the future. Like I said at the beginning of this, we're in no rush. It's not like do or die time right now for the Islanders. We're still building. We're still very much a young team, still trying to find our identity in the league. But it is time for a little bit of a change. So as you can see here, a couple of big pieces of our lineup and part of our core that we had foreseen going quite far. We are in year 5 already, but Anthony Beauvillier here on this trade screen, and I'll kind of explain this in a second, and Bodie Wild, he is on there as well. So give me a second, let me explain kind of what we're doing here, what's going on. So we are, look at our first round projected pick as of right now. It's pretty high. So I'm looking to get another first round pick, which is the main piece of this trade from Anaheim. They're not playing well, and they're still listed as a contender, so they're maybe looking to finish the season strong. But I'm looking to get another nice high pick, hopefully. So that's the big part of this trade. These other guys are just kind of low top 4 defensemen, low top 6, and I think a low top 9 center. Just guys to bring the other way because they do have 48 contracts already. But that'll help us bring up some players to the team. So let me just kind of go through the team here and kind of talk about where my head's at and what we're thinking. So Jarvin in here, I am thinking of making possibly another trade and getting a backup goaltender for the NHL. I want Jarvin to get just more playing time. He's only played 10 games so far. He's 2-6-1, so he's playing in the NHL. He is listed as a minor starter, so it's not going to hurt him to send him down and be the starter down there in Bakersfield. So I also want to go out and try and find a backup goaltender for the NHL. And then I'm also going to trade away Opilka because he's the starter down there, and he's only got 1 year left on his deal anyway. That this Polzel guy, we signed him to a 3-year contract, so no reason to get rid of him just yet. But I'm going to trade Opilka away. We're going to get a backup NHL goaltender, and we're going to send Jarvin down and play in the AHL. So defensemen. So I'm trading Bodie Wild and Slater Kokok away. So just kind of hear me out here. Roman Josi, he still has 5 years left. We just traded for him a couple of months ago. That was part of that Tyson Barrie trade. I was thinking of maybe just flipping him and trading him, but he still has quite a few years left. I think he's going to be good for the future. He kind of shores up that top 2 defenseman. We've also got Quinn Hughes, but we've also got this Dorian Hinote guy that we drafted in the first round last year. He's a defensive defenseman and right-handed. That's where Bodie Wild comes in. He's a right-handed defensive defenseman, but he's only got the medium top 4, and at 23 years old, he's kind of stayed at 80, 81 overall. I don't think he's going to get any better than really that, maybe an 82 at best. Dobson seems to have been the better, obviously he was a first round pick, the better top 4 defenseman for our club. So considering he's only got 1 year left on that entry level deal, I don't want to offer him a contract really, because we still have Dobson to sign next summer, in the coming summer. So Bodie Wild, I think we're gonna move on from him. We're gonna might as well go with this Dorian Hinote guy, who's having a good season again in the U.S. development. So he's going to be our defensive defenseman of the future. So that's why I'm not shy about trading Bodie Wild away. And he really hasn't played that well um, for us anyway. He was a minus 16 last year, kind of a disappointing rookie season. Um, and on a bad team this year, we might as well, make a change and make a choice on Bodie Wild. So we're going to trade him away. We still got Pulak, but Slater Kokok. We did sign him to a 2-year deal, so he has another additional year after this. And as a top 6 defenseman, like I said, we still have to offer Dobson a contract. This is an extra $3.5 million we can just take off our books, and he's got some decent value too. So he is part of that trade as well. So right wingers, moving forward anyway, we've got Ethan Loynes, obviously. This Liam Sedin, super Swede. He's having a good sophomore season in the SHL. But he's going to be, I think, a really good future right winger for us. Potentially on that second line. We still got Hosang long term on a really cheap deal. Senishin, who really hasn't progressed the way I've wanted him to. I think I'm still going to keep him around. His trade value is not that high, so there's no reason to trade him really. So that's the right wing. Left wing, we still have Skinner for a couple years. Same with Bailey, but Bailey might be possibly a trade piece come maybe the draft or by the deadline next season. But we got Peyton Krebs kind of coming up in the system. He's on our NHL team. Hopefully he kind of makes a jump in the next year or two. We've got that Noonan kid still playing. I think he's with the U.S. development. He's a left wing power forward. Yeah, the United States. He's having another good season down there. This Jason Mraz is actually playing pretty well in the AHL. He's injured right now. His first professional season, but he's got 17 points as a 64 overall, so that's not too bad. We've still got Dal Call for the team. He's actually been a pleasant surprise for me. He's playing well. Osala's playing pretty well down there in the AHL. And then centers, so obviously we got Beauvalet on the trade screen as well. He's got 2 years left. I don't think he's going to get any better than 80 overall, and he's still listed 5 years in, still listed as a third line forward. So I think it's just time to move on from Beauvalet. We got Marco Rossi. He's playing in the AHL right now. This is his first professional year. He's definitely making the club next year. He's already 78 overall. He's already listed as a depth forward. He's gonna be our third line center next year, no doubt, because we got Nugent Hopkins for the second line, and Barzal there up on the first. So Beauvalet next year just doesn't have a spot, I don't think, and might as well trade him away. He's got a little bit of value. Yeah. So that is my thought process there. I'm looking to add another first round pick. So I've got this trade set up here. I threw in an additional second round pick. I think this is for next year, a second rounder to help that trade value. But like I said, all these guys they're looking to get rid of. They're young prospects. This guy is I don't even know if it's uncovered yet, but he's looking right now as a low top 4. This guy's a medium top 9 center and a low top 6 defenseman. So it kind of replaces these 3 guys here. But again, they're all going to be probably AHLers. And then, that'll give us the ability to bring up some players to play in the NHL club to replace these guys that we're missing out on. But the big piece is that first round pick. I'm hoping that, we're not throwing them any studs here whatsoever. So hopefully Anaheim continues to be a bad team. And that pick, plus hopefully with our pick, if we continue on this path, get 2 nice first round picks and just continue to grow the team. So I'm going to throw this trade offer. I first had a 4th rounder in there as well, but I took it out. I'm going to see if they'll accept this. They want everything we're sending, and they want to get rid of everything that we're asking for. So let's see if the Anaheim Ducks go ahead and accept this trade offer. Trade rejected. Not sufficient at all. So let me once again just throw our 4th rounder in there. It's too far off. Okay, let's see. Maybe a 3rd. We'll give him a 2nd and a 3rd for next year. We're getting 2 first rounders this year. Still not good enough. Wow. What about a Chicago 2nd rounder this year? And then you give us a 4th rounder. Wow, still too far off. They don't want. Sweeten the value just a touch. Are you kidding? I'll give you our 2nd rounder, but you're definitely giving us something in return. Definitely a 4th, at least. Oh my god, are you kidding? We're kind of overpaying a little bit. But I also don't have these guys fully uncovered, so they could be better than what I'm looking at. Oh my god, still, with those 2 picks, they're still not willing to accept it. Wow. I don't know what else I can throw at them. Everyone that they want has a contract, so that's not going to help me anything, and there's no one here that I really want to get rid of. Bullies. Wow. Take the 2nd off. I'm gonna offer the. I'll offer our 1st rounder for next year. Seriously. And a 4th rounder. Wow. Sweeten the value just a touch. Are you kidding? Alright, a 2nd rounder for 2 years from now. Oh, now they're talking about waivers. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look elsewhere because it just doesn't seem like it's gonna work over there at Anaheim. I'd like to get a team that wants all 3 that doesn't have a greatest record. They have roster spots. They do want to give up their 1st. Can I take any players off your hands here, Philly? Let's take those 2 guys. Okay. 2 seconds. Alright, that went through. Okay, so we made our trade there. Ended up being with Philly. Which is in our division, but that's fine. So I now have to call up some players, so the system. I'm gonna have to call up a defenseman. Mayfield. He's making that 1.4 mil. I think that should be it. If we have an injury, we're gonna have to call someone else up. So Sheehan, this is gonna be Olsen. This is gonna be Sheehan. Defensively, this will be Witherspoon. This will be Mayfield. I don't have any other defensemen. I'll fix this in a second. I just want to go to roster moves. I want to send these two guys down. Okay. So now in the AHL, let's put this guy in to see what he's all about. Defensively, this will be that new defenseman we just grabbed. Okay. Alright, boys, so we made our trade. So we have our pick. Obviously, ours is much better than Philly's right now. But hopefully still another good pick. So oh my god, they have a pretty good defensive core there. And Gostisbehere, Provorov, they've got Capo Caco, they've got Nolan Patrick, Voracek is still there. But to the Philadelphia Flyers, Bodie Wild. You're also looking at Slater Kokok and Anthony Beauvillier. Now with the Philadelphia Flyers in our division, so that'll be a good, interesting rivalry there. But yeah, it had to be done. We were not playing well. We can go ahead and finish the year here. We just were not playing well, so I didn't want to suck and have contracts on our hands that we weren't interested. So those are our trades. Philadelphia is placing this guy on waivers. Who is he? A defenseman? Philippe Myers. You know what? I think I'm going to snag him up because I don't know. He could be an elite defenseman, weirdly. Let's just grab him, see what happens. Okay. So let's see how we end up finishing the year here. Sakara, no, I did not need Andre Sakara. So Bridgeport, they have a defenseman back. Put that Taze kid in, but let's put this Myers kid in and see what he's all about. Of course, we're going to win games now, right? Alice Madsen's been injured. Oh my god, of course we're winning games now. We're going to be a 500 team. Roman Yossi has been injured with a mild concussion. I would be upset about that, but I want us to do bad because we made those trades. So we have to call up a defenseman. Still don't have him fully scouted yet. He's only played 3 games. Let's see here. Defenseman. Let's call up Madsen. Okay. My game just froze.